don't know if any of you have noticed, but in 2 of my recent videos I have used the same technique twice. In other words, I reuse a technique that I used in Rube Goldberg machine number 10 in Is It Possible number 10. And as you may have been able to deduct based on the materials that I have set out before me, this is the technique where a car with a track on it is pulled by a string. Now if you've read the title, you know that this is a tutorial, so if you're not interested in knowing how it works or how to make it, go ahead and watch another one of my videos. I will decide whether me teaching and doing tutorials like this will become a frequent series in the future based on how this video does, but for now I wanted to show you how this one works for 2 reasons. First of all, I wanted to share how this particular technique works and how to do it, and second of all, I wanted to see whether tutorials get good reactions. Now the reason I chose this specific technique is first of all because I've used it twice in my machines already, but second of all because it's not specific to which materials that you have. In other words, this track could look like anything. This track could be anything, as long as you have a car of this general size and any sort of string, any sort of plank, or any sort of dominoes, this will work. But without any more further ado, let's jump right into it. These are the general materials that you're going to need for this. Now for the sake of better understanding, I'm going to start fresh from scratch so that you can see how this is built pretty much from the ground up. Now the first thing, as I said before, this is optional to have this kind of guiding track here, but I want it, so we're going to tape it down. Now the next step is to secure the track to the car. So we're obviously going to need some tape for this. Now, here's a little hint. If you want the track to be slightly tilted one way or another, here's what you can do. You can tape a piece of tape from the edge to the bottom and make it real tight so that it secures it in sort of a tipped way, like this. So, as you can see, I've got a piece of tape from here to here, which secures it in kind of a downward direction. So, we've got the tape, we've got the track attached to the car, and we're ready to go. Now the next step is possibly the most important. We're going to make a weight using these dominoes, which is usually just 2 or 3 stuck together, and then we're going to create a string that attaches these to the car. So, I'll do that right now. Now, here's where a bit of mathematics, physics, and precision come in. You want to have the string at the perfect length so that when the car is back as far as you want it, the domino is at the edge of the table and it's just leaning slightly. Kind of like this. Now, I'll explain the physics to this in a very simple way so that you can hopefully understand it. But the dominoes want to fall off the edge, obviously, but that force is not strong enough to overcome the static friction of the car, which is its tendency to stay still if it's not already moving. But if we incorporate this wooden plank and move the car just slightly forward, that does 2 things. First of all, it shortens the string, which allows the dominoes to fall off the edge, but second of all, it overcomes the static friction and allows the dominoes to fall off the edge and subsequently pull the car as far forward as you want it to. Now the last part is the easiest part. All you have to do is set up your wooden plank at the end. Now, you're done. So now, if you've done this correctly, the entire reaction in action should look like this. But I know what you're thinking. Jack of all spades 98. What makes this method so super duper special? Couldn't I just set up the dominoes at one end like that, and then have a ball go and hit them, and then knock the dominoes off the edge, and then pull the car forward that way? Well, yeah, actually, that would work, but it's better to do it this way, and I'll tell you why. And the reason has to do with the amount of force required to cause the reaction. if you just set it up this way and have a ball go and hit the dominoes, although very small, there is a larger force required to do that than there is to just gently nudge the top part of this plank. Now remember, pulleys are your best friend. The string does not actually have to go in a straight line for it to work. For example, this will also work. Here is a very simple Rube Goldberg machine to demonstrate how this technique could be used. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and follow me on my Google+. I post sneak peeks, exclusive information, and extra videos on my Google+, so be sure to follow me there so you don't miss out. Also, leave a comment down below telling me whether you like the tutorial, whether you want me to do more, and if so, what other techniques have I used in my previous videos that you want me to do a tutorial for.